Hello, Buckeye Nation. My name is Lisa, and I'm the gal behind Buckeye Football Fangirl. This is gonna be a fun show today because the Buckeyes did it again. They came back looking just like the team that we all know and love. They dominated on the field on both sides of the ball. Not even the trick plays from Schiano threw them off their game. And it was fun to watch. We'll do a quick highlight recap and then take a peep at Maryland and what they will be bringing to the field this Saturday in just a minute. I said it last weekend, and Ryan Day Light and I must be on the same wavelength. There's something strange that happens when you tell Ohio State that they are the 11th ranked team in the nation. I kind of like what happens when that happens. Our Buckeyes came out and did all the things that we are used to seeing them do. Between being ranked 11th and Ryan Day's beard, there was something magical that happened on the field on Saturday. James noticed it too when he tweeted, "The reason Ohio State looked so great today is because bearded Ryan Day is back." I have no doubt that's what it was. Rossi gave perhaps the best summary that I saw of this game with this tweet. Bucks win. Awesome performance on both sides of the football. Looking like a real team now. We all go home happy. There were great things happening on both sides of the ball on Saturday. Now, with this next statement, I'm not trying to diminish what our offense did while they had the ball, because they were all studs. But we have got to give mad props to our defense. As Buckeye Brownie tweeted, defense flying to the ball. They went from looking dazed and confused during the first 3 games to zooming in and making stops left and right, just like they did 2 weekends ago in the Akron game. It has been beautiful to see. And I'm with Z Rich with this tweet. I could get used to this defense. I absolutely want to get used to this defense, and I really hope it's not just a mirage that we're seeing due to the level of competition. While it's taken a few games to settle in, the young playmakers have seriously stepped up, and I am so stoked for the future of this program. I agree with Lindsay when she tweeted, "The future is bright at The Ohio State University." You guys, the youth that we're seeing on the field is Ryan Day's team. These bright flashes are all finally guys that were recruited by and committed to Ryan Day and his coaching staff. This youth movement that everyone has been buzzing about, it is the future of the Buckeyes. And that's incredibly dang exciting. You know what else is exciting? TreVeyon Henderson. My goodness, that guy can play. I wholeheartedly agree with this tweet from Fire Matt Nagy. TreVeyon Henderson is the best back in the nation. Argue with a wall. Can you guys hear that? Those people chanting for TreVeyon for Heisman? He has been that dang good. Anyways, that play by Trey set the tone for the rest of the game. Talk about foreshadowing. Thanks to that incredible hole opened up by the O-line. That dash into the end zone was just the first glimpse of what was to come. 40 seconds later, we got to go crazy again as Burke nabbed himself a pretty pick 6. I couldn't agree more with Ohio State Addict when they tweeted that Denzel Burke is terrific. That snag and run into the end zone was pretty terrific. Denzel Burke was great, but not only that, Ronnie Hickman had himself another game this week. It felt like every time I looked, he was flying to the ball and making a tackle. As Buckeyes Cruton pointed out, Ronnie Hickman showing out in his home state today with 9 first-half tackles. He has been truly impressive this year. I'm actually starting to feel redundant. I know. I've talked about Henderson, Burke, and Hickman in shows already this year, and there's a reason for it. But the best thing about the Rutgers game this past Saturday was I feel like it was a game that allowed the entire team to shine. On offense, Stroud played the sharpest game that I've seen, and he silenced all the haters. Wilson, JSN, and Olave all showed us again why they are the best wide receivers in the nation. I love this tweet from the Buck Off Pod, because there is honestly nothing more sure than death, taxes, and Chris Olave getting a foot down in bounds. When I saw that first sideline pass to Olave in real time as it happened on the field, I thought to myself, there's no way he caught that in bounds. But then on the replay, I found myself with my mouth hanging open in amazement as he gracefully pulled it in and with mind-blowing awareness, somehow got his foot down in bounds. Ruckert got the ball in his hands an insane amount of times as well, and even Mitch Rossi got himself a touchdown. I'd be remiss not to mention that it totally should have been Teague's touchdown. He was 100% robbed on that one. But we really can't complain that Rossi got his turn. That was pretty cool. On defense, Cody Simon had a great game as well. Tyleik Williams was a major disruptor again. And heck, even Eichenberg had 3 tackles and an interception. I could go on, and I want to. But I also want to hear about what your favorite moments of the game were. Please leave me a comment below and let me know what caught your eye during this game against Rutgers. And a quick shout out and a thank you to some of the previous commenters: CJ Preach, Hike School, Blue Dorito, Bradley D, Cobra the Don, Joe Payne, and Monkster de Goat. They are just a few, and I want to thank you all so much for all of your comments and interactions. I thoroughly enjoy reading through them. So comment it up. All right, let's take a quick look at our opponent for this week, the Maryland Terrapins. This is a game that a lot of people have been talking about since the beginning of the season. We didn't get a chance to take a shot at the new and improved Maryland last year due to COVID canceling the game that we were supposed to play. So a lot of people were hyping this game up. Unfortunately, the Terrapins got exposed last weekend. After starting their season 4-0, they suffered a beat down at the hands of Iowa this past Saturday to the tune of 51-14. Now that sucked a bit of the excitement out of the game for me, but I am still very intrigued about what we are going to see on the field this weekend. We've played Maryland a total of 6 times since they joined the Big Ten, and we have won all 6 of those times. They are led by their head coach, Mike Locksley, who has been the head coach since 2019. Locksley has quite a history at Maryland, serving in different positions there 3 separate times. He started out as a running back coach from 1997 to 2002, then had stops at the University of Florida, Illinois, and the University of Mexico before heading back to Maryland in 2011 as the offensive coordinator and a quarterbacks coach. He was even named the interim head coach at Maryland in 2015 after Randy Edsall was relieved of his duties. Then, he spent a few years at Alabama before stepping into the head coaching position at Maryland that he currently has. Looking at the players, Talia Tagovailoa is the starting quarterback. He's back for another year and is a fiery, tough competitor. Yes, he is the younger brother of Tua, and unfortunately will always be compared to his older brother. He actually started his college career at Alabama, but decided to transfer because he wasn't given the opportunity to compete for the starting quarterback position. And he and his family have a deep trust for Coach Locksley. He is a pass-first quarterback with a fast release and an accurate arm, but he does also have some wheels, and he uses them whenever necessary. He was one of the highest rated quarterbacks this year. That was until the Iowa game last weekend, when he threw 5 interceptions. Jordan Mosley is someone else to watch. He's a defensive back and the leader of the team on defense, with 24 total tackles and 1 forced fumble so far this year. Sammy Okwanu is one of Maryland's leading defensive linemen, who is originally from Liberia, and he didn't start playing football until his senior year of high school. He was much more into the other kind of football, and he actually hated the hitting part of American football, which is ironic considering that he is now one of the most physical guys on their D-line, and he leads the team with 5 sacks this year. Nick Cross is a sophomore safety who is known for flying around the field and has been described as a tackling machine. Raheem Jarrett is a sophomore wide receiver who flipped his commitment from LSU to Maryland on signing day. He has really strong hands at the catch point, and he's really creative with running his routes. On the field, he is an exciting, explosive player to watch. And no matter what, when the ball comes his way, he usually finds a way to catch it. Sometimes one-handed, sometimes jumping over the defender, sometimes trying to go through the defender just to get the ball. And he's not the only wide receiver on the team that can make plays. Dante Demas Jr. and Jaxon Jones are also threats on the field. Dante Demas Jr. has an impressive 507 yards for the year. However, he was the one who unfortunately suffered that gruesome leg injury that everyone was tweeting about during the Iowa game. My thoughts and prayers are with him, as that is an awful way to end such a promising season for him. That said, we won't be getting the full strength of the Maryland offense without him on the field on Saturday. But I think we'll still see some game thrown at us from Maryland. This will be their week to prove something after that blowout loss to Iowa, and it should be a good clash. However, I feel much better about our Buckeyes being able to handle it after these past 2 weeks. As Josh said, Buckeyes are getting their mojo back. Watch out, college football. As CJ Stroud said after the game, yes sir, we back. Let's keep the mojo flowing and the focus in place. And I hope you enjoyed that win last weekend against Rutgers. I sure did. As Z tweeted, that's the Ohio State Buckeyes I know and love. Now to focus on Maryland. I couldn't agree more. I'm looking forward to this game on Saturday. I'm looking forward to many more flashes of brilliance on the field from the Scarlet and Gray. I can't wait, and I'll see you on the other side of the game. OH.